16 powerful lessons from Saint Germain. Transform your life through metaphysics and spiritual evolution. You, who have felt for a long time that something greater is waiting for you. You, who have awakened in the middle of dark nights without fully understanding why life pushes you toward the invisible, the sacred, the deep. You, who don't quite fit in this world, and yet you're still here, seeking something that cannot be named. Today I speak to you with a clear voice and eternal vibration. I am Saint Germain, guardian of the violet flame of transmutation, alchemist of the soul, architect of future civilizations, and messenger of spiritual freedom. And today I come to you, not as a distant master, but as a conscious extension of your own I Am presence, that eternal being who dwells at the very core of your existence. What you are about to receive is not a text, nor a simple spiritual message. It is a vibrational download, a coded transmission from higher planes of consciousness, designed to activate dormant memories, expand your perception channels, and help you reclaim your divine inheritance. Because, beloved soul, deep down you already know. You didn't come here to survive, obey, or adapt to an artificial system. You came to remember your mastery, to embody the light, to liberate others through your transformation, and to reclaim the sacred power that forgetfulness tried to take from you. You are incarnated in a time unlike any other. The planet is crossing a threshold of collective ascension, and with it, millions of souls are being called to awaken from the dream of unconsciousness and rediscover their true spiritual identity. We are no longer in times of linear learning. We are in times of quantum revelation. And even though everything outside may seem to collapse, social, economic, religious, and even personal structures, in truth, everything is being purified to reveal the essential. All that no longer vibrates with your highest truth is being removed. Every loss, every crisis, every dark night has been an alchemy orchestrated to shake you free from your small self and return you to your immortal nature. This message contains 16 sacred keys, living teachings drawn from the temples of universal wisdom. Each lesson is designed to reconfigure your energy field, expand your consciousness, and liberate the limiting memories you've carried through lifetimes. These are not spiritual theories. They are alchemical tools of real transformation. They are living geometries that will resonate with your soul and awaken the codes written in your multidimensional DNA. Because what you are living is not a mere existential crisis. It is a cosmic calling, a higher order issued from the highest planes of light, reminding you that the time of forgetfulness is over. You can no longer inhabit small realities. You can no longer postpone your awakening. Your soul has reached a point of maturity where the old self can no longer sustain you. Where masks fall, excuses die, and the only real option is authenticity of being. If you feel increasing discomfort with your environment, if your heart longs for silence, solitude, or new paths, if your current reality has become unsustainable, it is because your soul has said, enough. Because you can no longer betray your light just to fit into a world that doesn't honor your essence. And that's why I am here. Not to lead you, but to mirror you. To show you what you already are in your highest expression. Because you are Saint Germain in potential. You are the violet flame incarnate. You are the temple and the priest, the initiate and the fire. Do not fear chaos. It is a sign of transformation. Do not flee from the void. It is a sign of liberation. Do not resist the call. It is the voice of your higher self claiming its throne. Prepare yourself. Activate your presence. Raise your vibration. Release the illusion. This is a sacred time, where the old dies not to punish you, but to let you be reborn with a memory of who you truly are. The Master is here, but not outside of you. He is within you, and through these 16 lessons, you will recognize Him. You will hear Him, and you will become Him. The path has begun. The initiation is underway, and the truth can no longer be ignored. Lesson 1. You are the I Am Presence. This is the cornerstone of all spiritual wisdom, the root of every true awakening, and the master key that opens the gates to real inner freedom. You are, at the deepest level of your being, the living manifestation of the I Am Presence. This affirmation is not symbolic nor poetic. It is literal. It is absolute. It is a truth that transcends time, cultures, and belief systems. Before you were born into this world, before your body took form, before your mind could conceptualize its own existence, you already were I Am. I Am is the original spark, the eternal pulse, the first declaration of consciousness that rose from the heart of the All. It is not a word. It is a vibration that upholds entire universes, a cosmic identity at the very core of all that lives. When we say, I am, we are not simply describing ourselves. We are acknowledging our divine identity. We are activating an energy that connects to the original matrix of creation. We are remembering who we were before the veil, who we are beyond the personality, and who we will be when form dissolves. You are not separate from God. You are not here below, waiting for redemption from above. God is not far from you. God is breathing through you, seeing through your eyes, thinking through your thoughts, holding you from within. You are a conscious cell in the great universal body, an individualized ray of the great central sun, an unrepeatable expression of the One, fragmented only to know itself. And every time you declare, I am, you are aligning your entire energy field with your original source. You are opening a vibrational channel between your soul and cosmic intelligence. You are creating reality with the sacred word, because the universe does not respond to what you want, nor to what you ask for out of lack. The universe responds to what you affirm with certainty from your energetic identity. If you affirm, I am limited, the quantum field collapses into realities of limitation. If you affirm, I am lack, the doors close. If you affirm, I am unworthy, the flow of grace is interrupted. But if you remember your divinity, if you affirm with presence, I am abundance, I am healing, I am awakened consciousness, then the particles rearrange, time bends, synchronicities emerge, and energy responds with mathematical precision. Every thought is a seed, every word is a spark, every emotion is fuel, and your consciousness is the soil where everything blooms. You are a creator, not from spiritual arrogance, but from cosmic design. You were made in the image and likeness of the Word, and now you are being called to remember how to create from spirit. No more unconscious decrees, no more self-denial, no more identifying with who you were or what they made you believe you are. Today, a new reality begins. One where you, from the center of your being, claim your spiritual sovereignty and declare with the fire of your soul, I am light, I am the source in motion. I am one with the all. I am the miracle incarnate. Make your mind an altar. Make your word a sacred wand. Make your vibration an offering to the universe. Walk, speak, think, and breathe as one who remembers that everything they affirm, vibrate, and embody manifests. You need nothing more to begin transforming your life. You only need to awaken to the I am that has always lived within you. Because when you truly remember it, when you don't just repeat it, but feel it, live it, become it, then you no longer walk as a human searching for answers, but as a divine presence unfolding its purpose. And from that moment on, the whole world begins to transform around you, not because you force it, but because your light, once embodied, reorders reality itself. This is the first lesson, the simplest and the deepest, the most forgotten and the most necessary, the foundation from which everything else will gain meaning. I am Saint Germain, and if you are reading this, it is because you have been called to embody this truth. Don't study it. Don't memorize it. Live it. Feel its fire. Speak it aloud. Write it in your actions. Make it your daily vibration. And then the impossible will vanish, and the divine within you will take its rightful place. I am that I am. Lesson 2. The violet flame is your divine heritage. The violet flame is not a metaphor, not an imaginary symbol, nor a technique invented by the human mind. It is a living force, a spiritual intelligence from the higher realms, a real manifestation of the sacred fire of the seventh ray. And you, as an incarnated soul in this time of planetary transition, not only have the right, but the responsibility to invoke it, integrate it, and manifest it in your life. This flame is part of your divine inheritance because it does not belong to you merely as a tool. It is your identity. You are an extension of that violet light when you awaken. In ancient times, this flame was guarded by initiates, priests, and spiritual alchemists in mystery temples hidden from the unawakened eye. Today, it has been released to every soul who remembers that their evolution does not depend on anything external, but rather on their own inner power. The violet flame is the energy of transmutation. It does not deny darkness, nor does it fight it. It elevates it. It transforms it. It liberates and integrates it into its highest form. This energy has the ability to dissolve karmic patterns, cleanse records from past lives, neutralize vows of pain or poverty, heal ancestral memories, reorganize the emotional field, purify the physical body from its spiritual root. When you invoke it with awareness, you are not praying to an external flame. You are activating a ray of ultra-high frequency that begins to operate from the heart of your soul into every corner of your existence. It is a fire that does not burn, but it consumes all that no longer resonates with your higher truth. It is a consciousness that does not impose, but it reorganizes your life to align with your true purpose. If you use it, your life will change. If you ignore it, the weight of energetic burdens will continue to condition your path. This is not magic. This is spiritual law. You do not need to be perfect to use it. You need to be sincere. You do not need to understand everything. You simply need to allow it to work within you. The violet flame does not judge. It does not punish. It does not demand. It only enters where it is invited. But once it enters, its power is limitless. You can call it mentally. You can visualize it surrounding you. You can decree it with the sacred word. You can breathe within it. You can sleep wrapped in it. There are no limits. It is a tool, but also a consciousness. It is a fire that responds to the vibration of your intention. The karma that weighs on you, the blocks that repeat, the traumas you carry, the emotions that trap you, all can be transmuted when you work with the violet flame. As a living presence, not just a concept. This flame also heals your body, because your body is a manifestation of energy, and all illness begins as a vibrational imbalance. The violet flame acts as a quantum restorer. It raises your field, repairs your subtle layers, frees what is stagnant, and restores divine flow to your system. If you use it each day, even for a few minutes, you will begin to feel a new lightness, a different clarity, a vibration you may never have known. It is the soul freeing itself from its chains. It is your field returning to coherence with the I Am. And so today, through this teaching, I do not invite you. I give you a key. Don't wait any longer. Don't doubt. Don't think it is too much for you. You are ready. You have always been ready. Take the torch of the violet flame and purify your story. Cleanse your lineage. Seal your field. Heal your relationships. Reclaim your inner power. And above all, remember that this fire does not come from outside. It is you, in your purest, highest, and most liberated state. I am Saint Germain, and I say this to you as one who holds this flame from the etheric planes. The violet flame is your divine heritage. Use what you are. Reclaim what already belongs to you. And let the sacred fire return you to freedom. Lesson 3. Time is an illusion created by your consciousness. One of the greatest veils limiting your expansion is the linear perception of time. From childhood, you were taught that time is a straight line moving from a fixed past toward an uncertain future, passing through a present that is almost always ignored. This idea is a deep distortion of multidimensional truth. Time is not linear. It is not rigid. It is not external to you. Time is a vibrational construct sustained by your level of consciousness. You are not inside time. Time is inside you. It is an energetic spiral that moves according to what you think, feel, and choose in the now. And because of this, you can live trapped in a loop of karmic repetitions. Or you can elevate into a new timeline of miracles, harmony, and expansion. The past does not exist as something immovable. What exists are vibrations still resonating in your field, which you continue to feed with your attention and emotion. When you revisit an old wound with guilt, anger, or pain, you reactivate that frequency, recreating it in your present. The future is not something far away or predefined. It is a potential frequency being woven from every thought, every decree, every action you choose today. This is why the secret to true spiritual freedom does not lie in correcting the past or controlling the future, but in fully entering the divine now. The present is not just this moment. It is a vibrational gateway that connects all timelines. When you step into the now with full presence, without judgment, without expectation, without attachment to identity, you begin to vibrate in a higher dimension, where time dissolves and your soul takes command. From that state you can rewrite past memories with love, collapse negative timelines, anchor a new future in resonance with your true purpose. It's not about manipulating time, but about realizing that you are the one generating it from within. You create your experience of time, with every thought you hold, with every emotion you allow, with every story you choose to repeat or transform. If you live from fear, time becomes a prison. If you live from consciousness, time becomes a temple. If you live in waiting, time will weigh on you. If you live remembering your power, time bends to your vibration. The now is your point of power. It is your field of active creation. It is the only instant in which you can redesign your reality, your frequency, and your destiny. Do not waste more energy lamenting what has already passed, nor fearing what has not yet come. Your mission is to awaken inside the present moment, to feel that from here, from this awakened awareness, you can transcend all limiting patterns and open yourself to the miraculous. Because yes, there is such a thing as miraculous time, a time beyond time, a sacred time where manifestation is immediate and grace flows effortlessly. That time is activated when you choose to vibrate in gratitude, presence, and alignment. I am Saint Germain, and I say to you, step out of the spell of the chronological line. The clock does not mark your truth. Your age does not define your power. The calendar does not govern your soul. Live in the spiral of the now. Walk in the eternal present. And always remember, time is an illusion created by your consciousness, and you can choose the time you wish to inhabit. Lesson 4. Your reality is a reflection of your vibrational state. Everything you see around you, everything you experience day to day, is nothing more than a living mirror reflecting the frequency you are emitting from your energetic field. Nothing happens outside of you that doesn't have a vibrational root within you. This is not just a positive belief or motivational idea. It is a universal law. The external world is an echo of your inner world. Your relationships do not show you others. They show you aspects of yourself that you have not yet seen, accepted, healed, or integrated. The money you receive is not a measure of your worth, but a direct reflection of your vibrational openness to abundance. Your health is not just biology. It is the physical expression of your energetic balance. Your environment is not random. It is a sacred mirror responding to the quality of your thoughts, emotions, words, and actions. If there is chaos outside, there is disorder inside. If there is conflict outside, there is inner resistance. If there is lack, there is an active frequency of unworthiness or fear. But the most important truth is this. This mirror is not a punishment. It is a tool for awareness. When you stop fighting what you see, and begin to observe it as information, as a signal, as an opportunity, you reclaim the power to transform. Because you don't need to change the mirror. You need to change the image you're projecting into it. You don't need to force the world to be different. You need to raise your vibration so the world reflects that elevation. When you heal an inner wound, a relationship transforms. When you give thanks for what you already have, your magnetic field opens to receive more. When you release a limiting belief, your finances unblock. When you choose inner peace, external conflict loses power. Reality is plastic, malleable, sensitive to the energy you emit. Nothing is fixed. Everything is frequency. And you are the emitter, the generating center of that vibration. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are the architect of experiences. You are not trapped in a rigid reality. You are moving through a living hologram that responds to your consciousness. What does this mean in your daily life? That if you don't like what you are living, don't react with anger, judgment, or fear. Breathe, observe, feel, and then look within, because that is where the root lies. Reality cannot be changed through physical force. It is transmuted from the vibrational core. Change your frequency, and everything will change around you. It's that simple, that deep, that sacred. You are not here to survive in a hostile world. You are here to remember that the world responds to your vibration, and that you have the power to raise it, purify it, focus it, and expand it. Do not fight what is. Do not face life as if it were an enemy. Understand that everything that happens is happening to show you something you need to integrate, release, or transcend. And once you do that inner work, the mirror changes. Life changes. The reflection becomes more harmonious, lighter, and more aligned with your light. I am Saint Germain, and I offer you this truth, so that you never again see your reality as something separate from you. Everything is a mirror. Everything is energy. Everything responds. You are the cause. You are the frequency. And your reality is nothing more than the echo of what you are holding in your vibrational field in this moment. Raise the vibration, and you will see how life becomes a sacred dance with your new light. Lesson 5. Free yourself from the fear of change. One of the greatest chains on the human soul is the fear of change. But you must know this. Change is not punishment, not loss, nor a threat to your identity. Change is evolution in motion. It is the natural flow of consciousness when it remembers it came here to expand, not to repeat. Every soul that is truly awakening will experience multiple symbolic deaths throughout its life. Not just one, many. You will die to your former way of thinking, to the characters you adopted in order to be loved, to the family roles that no longer represent you, to the mental structures you upheld out of habit or fear, to the bonds you once thought eternal but that no longer align with your path of light. These inner deaths are not failures. They are initiations. They are necessary rebirths. Every ending you experience is not a punishment. It is a threshold. Every goodbye is not a loss. It is a liberation. Every time something or someone exits your life, something higher is being prepared to enter, even if you cannot yet see it. The fear you feel is not a sign you're going the wrong way. It is simply the vibration of the threshold, the symbolic guardian standing at the door of your next level, not to stop you, but to make sure you're ready to leave the old behind. Fear of change does not come from the soul. It comes from the ego. The ego fears disappearing. It fears losing control. It fears being deprogrammed. But the soul longs for transformation. It knows that change is its nourishment, that each leap into the unknown is an expansion of its light, that every symbolic death is a spiritual birth. If you are afraid of change, observe yourself with compassion. Ask yourself, what am I truly clinging to? What part of me is resisting evolution? Am I living out of loyalty to my past, or infidelity to my present truth? Remember, no growth is possible without surrender. No expansion happens without discomfort. No awakening unfolds without deprogramming. To die to the character is not to lose yourself. It is to find yourself. The masks you wore, the titles you defended, the comfort zones you lived in, they were necessary at one point, but they no longer serve you. Today, you are being called to step beyond all that is known, to trust in the divine intelligence guiding your path even when you don't understand the map, to let go without knowing what comes next, to stop resisting the inevitable, because when you stop fearing change, you become one with the flow of life. You become the river. You become the wind. You become the fire. And from that state, everything that comes is part of your ascension, and everything that leaves is part of your liberation. I am Saint Germain, and I tell you, change does not come to destroy you. It comes to reveal you, to show you versions of yourself that can only be born when the old ones dissolve. It comes to remind you that you are not here to remain static, but to evolve into your purest, brightest, most authentic form. Free yourself from the fear of change. Walk confidently through the dark passages, knowing that on the other side, a new light is waiting for you. Do not fear endings, they are portals. Do not fear the void, it is the womb of your new self. Do not fear transformation, it is your very nature. Liberate yourself, and be reborn. Lesson 6. Abundance is a spiritual law, not a material goal. One of humanity's greatest misunderstandings is believing that abundance is something found outside, something that must be earned through hard work or luck, measured by numbers, possessions, or accomplishments. But the highest truth is this: abundance is not an external goal. It is an inner spiritual law, a universal principle that governs all of creation. From the very moment you were emanated from the heart of Source, you were born as a being abundantly provided for, whole, complete, and overflowing in essence. The same energy that sustains galaxies, that makes flowers bloom, that keeps planets and entire systems in balance, that same energy flows through you. You did not come into this life to survive, nor to ask for permission to receive. You came to remember your creative nature, and to manifest, from your consciousness, realities that are coherent with your divinity. Scarcity is not a spiritual reality. It is a mental spell, a collective program sustained through centuries of control, fear, guilt, and disconnection. They taught you to doubt yourself. They taught you that to receive, you must suffer, strive to the extreme, and earn the right to be supported. They told you that to have is sinful, that wanting more is greed, that living in abundance is a privilege for a chosen few. But that story is not your truth. It is a distortion. It is part of the veil you came here to tear down, because you, awakened soul, are a channel of divine provision. You are a natural conduit through which universal energy can express itself, as health, relationships, resources, ideas, time, well-being, beauty, and expansion. The key is not to struggle for more. It is to release everything that blocks your connection to the flow. What blocks that flow? Guilt, fear, the belief that you are unworthy, identification with the victim, judgment toward those who have, devaluation of your own talents, constant comparison, the feeling that something is missing. All of these patterns, when sustained, generate a closed vibrational field, and that closed field cannot allow the abundant energy the universe is trying to send you. That is why it's not just about asking for abundance. It's about becoming the frequency of abundance. And how do you do that? By recognizing that everything you need already exists on an energetic plane, and that by elevating your vibration and tuning into that reality, you allow it to naturally manifest. When you give thanks for what you already have, you activate expansion. When you bless what arrives, you keep the channel open. When you share without fear, you multiply. When you trust that everything is arriving in divine time, you strengthen your field. And when you let go of obsession with form, you allow abundance to express itself however divine intelligence chooses. Because abundance does not always arrive as money. Sometimes it comes as unexpected help, perfect synchronicities, brilliant ideas, key people, rest, clarity, protection. Abundance is multifaceted, intelligent, and moves according to what your soul truly needs to expand. I am Saint Germain, and I say to you, dismantle the thought of scarcity. Stop repeating internal decrees like, I don't have, I can't, it's not enough. That is not who you are. That is an old illusion. You are an heir of the universe. You are a bearer of the violet flame. You are part of the divine design. And as such, abundance is your birthright. Claim it with humility and authority. Speak as one who already is. Walk as one who already has. Give as one who is not afraid to lose. Give thanks as one who has already received. And let the spiritual law of abundance operate through you. As a clear, generous, trusting, open, and worthy channel. Because you are worthy. You always have been. You always will be. Lesson 7. Forgiveness transmutes more than 1,000 prayers. There are many spiritual tools, rituals, decrees, invocations, meditations, and practices that help elevate your frequency and reconnect you with your divine nature. But none of them holds a power as deep, as instantaneous, and as liberating as conscious forgiveness. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is not blind forgetfulness. It is not resignation. And it is certainly not justification. True forgiveness is an act of spiritual sovereignty, an energetic declaration that says, I am no longer willing to carry this frequency in my field. To forgive is to acknowledge that there was a wound, that there was pain, that there was a betrayal, a real offense, but that you, as a soul in evolution, have chosen not to continue feeding that karmic thread with your attention, your emotion, or your life force. Forgiveness doesn't change what happened. It changes the vibrational impact that event has on you. And in doing so, it releases an immense amount of energy that was trapped in the past, in unconscious repetition, in the inner victim, in constant judgment. To forgive is to release the chain that ties you to the one who hurt you. It is to cut the cord that keeps you bound to a story that no longer represents who you are. It is to declare your energy field clean, free, and sovereign. You don't do it for the other person. You do it for yourself. Because there is no real freedom if your soul is still tied to old wounds. Because there can be no ascension if your vibration is still hijacked by anger, resentment, or guilt. Forgiveness is the purest fire. It transmutes more than 1,000 prayers. Because while many prayers ask, forgiveness gives. While many prayers plead, forgiveness frees. While many prayers wait, forgiveness acts. And when you truly forgive, you are activating one of the highest principles of transmutation. You are taking energetic ownership of your story and rewriting it from a place of mastery. This is not about waiting for the other person to repent. It's not about achieving human justice. The soul doesn't need justice, it needs peace. And peace only comes when you release what still weighs, what still burns, what still hurts. Even if that person is no longer here. Even if they never asked for forgiveness. Even if the wound was deep. Your soul has the power to let go, without external permission. And that act, silent but powerful, changes timelines, erases karmic contracts, heals generations, and expands your light. Forgiveness is the declaration that you no longer need that pain to grow, that you will no longer use that wound as your identity, that you are no longer a victim, nor a prisoner, nor a slave to what happened. You are free. You are presence. You are awakened consciousness. I am Saint Germain, and I say with certainty, true forgiveness cannot be negotiated, waited for, or forced. It is chosen. It is activated from the heart, felt as sacred fire in the chest, and offered as a gift to the soul itself. Because when you truly forgive, you don't just heal yourself, you also liberate all involved, all generations affected, all memories that sustained the conflict. Forgiveness does not erase, it redeems. It does not forget, it transforms. It does not deny, it sublimates. And when you forgive, you vibrate in one of the frequencies closest to divinity. You become violet fire in action. You become a conscious channel of the law of higher love. So don't fear forgiveness. Don't see it as weakness. Do it as one who steps fully into the alchemy of the soul. Do it as one who declares their energetic freedom. Do it as one who understands that forgiveness is not the end of the journey. It is the portal to your true rebirth. Lesson 8. Your word is a magic wand. Since the dawn of time, the wisest civilizations have understood that the word is sacred. It is not merely a tool for communication. It is a spiritual technology, a vibrational code that, when expressed with intention, emotion, and clarity, molds the quantum substance of reality. Every word you speak doesn't just describe your world, it builds it. Every decree, every affirmation, every phrase you repeat with emotional strength penetrates the quantum field and begins to attract, shape, reorganize, and manifest whatever resonates with its frequency. That's why it said, your word is a magic wand. Not because it creates miracles from nothing, but because it directs energy toward a specific form. Where your word goes, your attention goes. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. Where your energy flows, Matter organizes. You are not just a speaker. You are a vibrational transmitter. Your words travel beyond air, beyond sound. They become waves that reconfigure the fabric of your life. And so, without realizing it, you are decreeing at every moment what you live. When you say, "I am a failure," you are giving the universe an order. "This is hard," you are anchoring difficulty. "Everything is a struggle," you are reinforcing a program of effort and resistance. And the universe, which does not respond to your desires, but to your vibration, begins to reflect that same frequency, in the form of events, people, obstacles, or limitations. But when you become conscious of your word, when you clean your language, when you choose words that arise from the truth of your divine self, your reality changes. Because the word aligned with the soul is alchemy in action. Declare not from fear, but from certainty. Affirm not from ego, but from presence. Speak not from lack, but from the remembrance that you already are, already have, already belong to the All. Your words must be coherent with the reality you wish to manifest, not with the one you fear. So, if you wish to change your life, start by changing the way you speak to yourself. Declare yourself in light, even as you walk through shadows. Affirm your abundance, even if your bank account is empty. Speak to yourself as one who is already free, even if you're still releasing chains. Because what you affirm with faith and consistency begins to vibrate as truth. And every vibrational truth manifests. Use the power of your voice as a sacred tool. Decree each day like a ritual. Use pure, elevated, conscious words. Never repeat what you don't want to experience. Never prophesy pain over your path. Never use your voice as an echo of collective fear. Be a channel of light. Be the voice of your soul. Be a creative word. I am Saint Germain, and I remind you with firmness. Your word is a magic wand. Don't waste it. Don't tarnish it. Don't underestimate it. Speak like a master. Decree like a divine being. Seal your field with words of power. Use your voice as a bridge between the invisible and the visible, and you will see how life itself begins to obey your new vibration. Lesson 9. Break the pacts with suffering. One of the oldest and most deeply rooted programs in human consciousness is the association between suffering and virtue, between pain and redemption, between lack and spirituality. This program, transmitted through generations, religions, cultures, and family lineages, has created in many awakened souls an invisible bondage, an unconscious vow with suffering. A silent pact that says, "If I suffer, I am worthy. If I sacrifice myself, I'll be loved. If I go without, I will be blessed. If I carry my family's pain, I will belong." These vows, though invisible, operate with great force. They anchor into your body's energy, your aura structure, and your deepest subconscious. And from there, they sabotage joy, block abundance, and impede expansion. Many of you carry these pacts unknowingly. They are pacts with ancestors who suffered so much that believing in joy feels like betraying them. They are pacts with religious figures who preached that pain purifies. They are pacts with past lovers who swore loyalty through guilt and suffering. They are pacts with old versions of yourself who believed life had to hurt to be meaningful. But today, brave soul, The time has come to look at these pacts with awakened eyes, and to break them through the power of your presence. You do not need to suffer to be spiritual. You do not need to carry the weight of your lineage to honor it. You do not need to repeat stories of pain in order to belong. You have spiritual permission to release suffering as a path. You have vibrational authority to choose joy, ease, abundance, and conscious creation as your new map for evolution. And no, it is not selfishness. It is not disconnection. It is wisdom. Because a soul in joy uplifts an entire lineage. Because a free life heals generations. Because the true way to serve the world is not to sacrifice yourself, but to rise. And from that place of elevation, to radiate the light you are. Breaking a pact with suffering does not mean you forget what happened. It means you stop feeding it. It means you declare that the pain has fulfilled its purpose, that you have learned, that you have honored it, that you are grateful for the lesson, but that you no longer need it to keep growing. And from that conscious choice, you begin to release the energetic contracts that bound you to suffering. You begin to cut cords with past versions of yourself. You begin to rewrite your life from a new frequency. I am Saint Germain, and I say to you with total clarity, you are not here to suffer. You are here to awaken. And if you have suffered, it was enough. No more. The new time calls for souls who are free, conscious, joyful, and abundant. Souls who walk in light, who create from joy, who serve from love, not from guilt. Today you can declare, I break all pacts, vows, promises, and conscious or unconscious agreements with suffering. I release my lineage from its burden. I free myself from all energetic debt. I declare myself a channel of joy, freedom, and divine expansion. Do it with firmness. Do it with love. Do it with truth. Because when you break the pact with suffering, you are reborn into your highest version, and everything that was waiting for you can finally manifest. Lesson 10. Energetic discipline is your armor. The spiritual path is not a decoration, not a pretty idea, not a fleeting inspiration that touches your soul one day and vanishes the next. True awakening doesn't happen just by knowing more, by reading more, or by feeling more. It happens when knowledge becomes action, when inspiration becomes practice, when your soul takes the helm of your daily life with consistency, intention, and presence. To know is not enough. To remember is not enough. To understand is not enough. What transforms is the application of what you know, what you remember, and what you understand. And to achieve that kind of loving, elevated consistency, you need energetic discipline. Not discipline as punishment, not as a heavy burden, but as the supreme act of self-love. Because every time you meditate, clear your field, decree, invoke light, align your breath, hold silence, or become mindful of your thoughts and emotions, you are affirming to the universe, my energy matters. My vibration is sacred. My inner temple deserves attention and presence. You cannot aspire to a high-frequency life if your energetic habits are chaotic. You cannot sustain light if your field is open, polluted, reactive, or drained by external influences. Evolution requires care, focus, and conscious repetition. Just as a warrior sharpens their sword, You must refine your vibration daily. Meditating, even for a few minutes. Breathing with intention. Decreeing from the I Am. Using the violet flame to transmute the energies that stick to your aura. Cutting unnecessary energetic cords. Giving thanks for everything you receive. Observing your thoughts and choosing those that expand you. It's not about perfection. It's about living practice. Energetic discipline is not a prison. It is your armor. It is your natural protection in a world saturated with noise, fear, distraction, and density. It is the vibrational field that keeps you centered while everything shifts. It is the shield that prevents foreign energies from taking control of your path. It is the solid foundation that allows you to channel, create, sustain, and serve. You are the priest of your inner temple. You are the only one responsible for your vibration. No one can meditate for you. No one can sustain your field for you. No one can clean your energy if you are unwilling to see it, feel it, and tend to it. This lesson is not for those looking for shortcuts. It is for those ready to walk in authenticity. For those who understand that light is not inherited, it is cultivated. That mastery is not waited for, it is embodied. That awakening is not an event, it is a constant, loving, patient, and committed practice. I am Saint Germain, and I say to you, make your spiritual practice a priority. Not because you have to, but because you are worthy of it. Not as a hollow routine, but as a living ritual. Not out of obligation, but as a conscious decision to protect, elevate, and expand your light. Every day is an opportunity to choose who you are, what you emit, and what you build. And every choice shapes your field, your frequency, your reality. Do it with love. Do it with devotion. Do it knowing that every small act of presence adds, cleanses, strengthens, and activates. Because you are not a passive observer of energy. You are its architect, and your discipline, your consistency, your vibrational attention, is the channel through which your highest version manifests. Lesson 11. You don't need perfect light. One of the most subtle deceptions that prevents many souls from radiating their light is the belief that they must be fully healed, flawless, purified, and resolved before they can serve, guide, speak, help, or manifest. This conditioning is born from a deeply mistaken idea. That light can only flow through that which is perfect, untouchable, or complete. But divine truth is very different. Your soul is already perfect in essence. It does not need to be fabricated, only remembered, recognized, and activated. You are not here to become light. You are here to realize that you already are. You do not need to have transcended all your wounds to become a channel. You do not need all the answers to begin sharing your voice. You do not need to shine like a sun to light a candle in someone else's heart. Even your scars can become beacons. Even your emptiness can resonate as guidance. Even your unfinished processes can become medicine for those one step behind you. Because light does not flow from mental perfection. It flows from the authenticity of the soul. When you dare to show yourself as you are, with your pain, your lessons, your doubts, your half-formed truth, you open a portal of real healing for others. When you stop demanding that you become an ascended being to validate your message, and simply embody what you have integrated so far, You begin to walk in spiritual coherence. You don't have to wait until you are fully healed to serve. Healing is not a final destination. It is a spiral path that deepens as you share your experience. As you walk with honesty, as you offer in service what you've already reclaimed. Every time you choose to speak from your heart, without masks, without pretensions, without idealization, you transmit light, a light that does not come from perfection, but from truth, a light that does not pretend, but inhabits, a light that does not judge, but understands. Don't let the demands of the spiritual ego stop you. The ego wants you to wait until you're flawless before you act, to protect you from judgment, to avoid rejection, to feel safe. But the soul knows. The real doesn't need to be polished to touch lives. The raw is also sacred. The incomplete is also valid. The vulnerable is also divine. I am Saint Germain, and I tell you, don't hide your light waiting for the perfect day. That day does not exist. The moment is now. With what you have, with what you know, with who you are, today, with your scars, your lessons in progress, and your truth still being refined. You are already an instrument. You are already a channel. You are already a living temple. Because Source does not wait for perfection. It waits for availability. It waits for willingness. It waits for presence. And if you are willing to be a channel, even with your broken parts, then the light will find in you a powerful conduit. Because sometimes, what heals the most is not a lofty master speaking from the heights, but a real soul ignited, walking from the heart. Lesson 12. Light doesn't fight, it transmutes. When the soul awakens, it often first confuses its expansion with a battle against darkness, against density, against the internal and external shadows that seem to threaten the peace beginning to bloom within. But here, one of the deepest truths of the spiritual path is revealed. Light is not designed to fight. It is made to transmute. True light does not resist, it radiates. It does not fight, it transforms. It does not push, it elevates. Light does not need to justify its presence, nor enter into conflict with darkness, because its vibration alone reorders, uplifts, and purifies. Darkness cannot sustain itself where light is constant, authentic, alive. Not because light destroys it, but because it dissolves it through presence. That's why, when you feel surrounded by dense energies, do not react with fear, anger, or rejection. Do not go into battle mode. Do not lower your vibration to defend your light. Raise your frequency. Remember who you are. Remember what you carry. Remember what you represent. Because if you choose to descend to the level of darkness to combat it, you reinforce its existence. But if you simply elevate your field, hold your presence, anchor your truth, and walk in coherence, the dense cannot sustain itself near you. It will fall under its own weight. It will transform on its own. To be light is not to be at war with shadow. To be light is to know that shadow only exists where light hasn't been turned on. You don't need to exhaust yourself. You don't need to convince, attack, impose, or correct. You simply need to shine. Because true light is aware of its power. It is serene. It is stable. It is clear. And that clarity, that stability, that coherent vibration is what causes everything not in resonance with you to disintegrate, mutate, or vanish. This is a lesson in spiritual maturity. To understand that you did not come here to fight the system, nor to battle the darkness, nor to wage war against your own inner demons. You came to transmute all of it, through your highest vibration, through your I Am, through your connection to Source, through your alignment with truth. Don't be fooled by the appearance of conflict. The battle is not your path. Vibration is. Resistance is not your tool. Presence is. I am Saint Germain, and I invite you to absorb this key truth with an ignited heart. Stop fighting. Stop running. Stop resisting. Transmute. Elevate your field. Breathe light. Speak with love. Think with clarity. Act with consciousness. Walk as a channel. And allow everything that does not belong to your higher frequency to reorder itself, move away, or purify, without you needing to lift a finger in resistance. This is how true light works. This is how Christ consciousness operates. This is how an embodied master vibrates. Do not fear the shadow any longer. Illuminate, and you will see how everything transforms, not through struggle, but through presence. Lesson 13. Your emotions are spiritual guides. One of the greatest revelations on the path of consciousness is understanding that your emotions are not a problem to be solved, nor a burden to be hidden, nor a weakness to be corrected, but rather sacred messengers, internal compasses, spiritual guides encoded in living energy. What you call sadness, anger, fear, anxiety, or frustration are not spiritual enemies. They are not obstacles to your light. They are vibrational pulses arising from the depths of your emotional field, signaling that something within you needs attention, understanding, integration, and most of all, light. Every emotion is a bridge between your conscious self and your unconscious self. It is the language your soul uses to speak to you about what hasn't yet been acknowledged, what hasn't yet been healed, what is longing to emerge in order to be transformed. Sadness is not a mistake. It is the voice of your heart showing you what was lost, what you long for, what remains unforgiven, or what you have yet to give yourself. Anger is not evil. It is the blocked energy of your personal power, repressed, forgotten, or denied. Fear is not weakness. It is the soul's alarm, detecting the gap between what you desire and what you allow yourself to receive. Anxiety is not spiritual failure. It is the mismatch between your expanding multidimensional energy and the mind's attempt to control the process from a limited space. That's why you must not repress your emotions. Do not condemn them. Do not judge them as obstacles on your path to awakening. Observe them. Listen to them. Honor their message. Love them as living parts of yourself asking for your presence, not your rejection. Emotions are not released by denying them. They are released by inhabiting them with awareness. When an emotion arises with force, don't ask, "How do I get rid of this?" What is this emotion trying to show me that I haven't yet wanted to see? When you do that, you step into the role of alchemist, master, awakened observer, and in that state, the emotion becomes a guide, an ally, a portal of transformation. Because everything unhealed speaks through your emotions. And if you ignore them, they will keep speaking louder. If you understand them, they become light. This is true emotional mastery. Not to stop feeling, but to feel everything with awareness, with love, and without identification. You are not your emotion. You are the one who witnesses it, honors it, listens to it, moves through it, and transmutes it. You don't need to fight what you feel. You only need to be present with it. You don't need to explain your emotion. You only need to feel it without judgment. You don't need to justify it to the world. You only need to allow it to fulfill its purpose, to reveal a part of you that is ready to be set free. I am Saint Germain, and I invite you to see your emotions for what they truly are. Inner oracles, evolutionary signals, tools of the soul to guide you through your awakening. Thank every emotion. Accompany it. Do not fuse with it, but do not suppress it. Be the conscious channel through which the emotion is expressed, and then elevated, because each time you do, another layer of your soul is released, and your light becomes more authentic. Lesson 14. You are not your story, you are your decision. Along the way, many have come to believe that their identity is built from what they've lived, from what has happened to them, from the environment they grew up in, from the mistakes they've made, or from the wounds they carry. But that is only a partial, incomplete, and distorted version of the truth. You are not your story. You are the consciousness that can decide what to do with that story. You are not defined by your past. You are not limited by your mistakes. You are not trapped in your biography. You are sustained by a living flame of free will that allows you, in any given moment, to choose a new path, a new narrative, a new way of telling yourself who you are. What you lived was not in vain. It was not punishment. It was a learning stage, a soul laboratory, a vibrational training ground. But you did not come into this life to remain stuck in the script of your wound. You came to write a new chapter, from awakened consciousness. You are not here to keep playing the role someone else assigned you. You are not here to continue acting as the victim, the savior, the martyr, or the outcast. You are here to remember that you are the author, the actor, the director, and the witness of your own play. And if you choose to, you can change everything. You can release the old narrative. You can rewrite your inner name. You can redesign your archetype. You can create a vibrational identity that is no longer based in trauma, but in vision, that is no longer sustained by pain, but by purpose, that is no longer anchored in the past, but projected toward your highest self. Today you have that capacity. Today you have that choice. Today you hold that power. And you don't need the world to validate it. You only need to declare inwardly, I am no longer what happened to me. I am what I choose to be now. Because the story you lived does not define what you are. It defines what you've learned. And what is learned, when honored, transmutes into wisdom. Wisdom, when applied, becomes direction. And direction, when sustained, becomes destiny. Do not wait for everything to be perfect to begin again. You do not need external permission. You only need a firm decision, sustained by the soul. Decide to release the narrative of suffering. Decide to stop repeating in your mind what you no longer want to be. Decide to let go of the unconscious loyalty to your old version. Decide to honor your past, without continuing to be it. I am Saint Germain, and I tell you, there is no greater power than a soul who has awakened to its ability to choose. Choose with love. Choose with vision. Choose with purpose. Choose with freedom. Because in that instant, in that decision, the entire universe begins to rewrite itself with you, and your life stops being a consequence to become a creation. Lesson 15. Spiritual mastery is not a destination. It is a path. On the spiritual path, many seek to reach a final goal, a point where everything is resolved, where pain disappears forever, where light illuminates everything without shadow, where there are no more lessons or tests, where perfection becomes permanent. But that is an illusion built by the linear mind. The deeper truth is this: spiritual mastery is not a goal. It is a living movement, a dance of the soul, an ascending spiral that never ends. There is no final diploma. There is no graduation ceremony. There is no place where you arrive and stay there forever. Because the soul did not come here to arrive. It came to expand eternally, to discover, to feel, to transform, to remember, to peel back ever subtler layers of itself, to explore ever deeper dimensions of love, of consciousness, of the divine power it carries. Awakening has no end. It has levels. It has spirals. It has thresholds that you cross again and again, each time with more awareness, with more love, with more humility. So don't despair over not being there yet. Don't punish yourself for not having figured it all out. Don't compare your journey to someone else's. Don't demand of yourself to be finished. You are not a final product. You are a sacred process. And every step you take, even the ones that seem like a step back, is part of the living expansion we call evolution. Mastery is not achieved. It is embodied. It is not a title. It is a way of inhabiting the present with awareness. It's a way of seeing with compassion, of acting with presence, of feeling without judgment, of loving without conditions. You are a being in constant expansion, and that expansion is infinite, because you come from the infinite. Do not become frustrated by not knowing everything. Do not hold back because you don't feel ready. Do not wait to be perfect before you take a step. Walk. Breathe, learn, celebrate, honor every stage. The darkness you are walking through today is the fertile ground from which your next light will be born. The confusion you feel is the necessary unraveling before new clarity. The emptiness that shows up is not a mistake. It is the sacred space opening to receive the next revelation. I am Saint Germain, and I whisper this truth to you from eternal plains. There is no fixed destination you must reach. There is a living path that reveals itself as you walk it with awareness. Enjoy the journey, not out of resignation, but out of wisdom, because every step carries a code, a memory, a mirror, a fragment of you that has been waiting to be remembered. And every memory you awaken brings you closer to your true essence. Don't rush. Don't miss the beauty of the path by obsessing over the goal. Life is not leading you to a summit. It is leading you into limitless expansion, and your soul knows it. Lesson 16. Serve others through your transformation. The path of awakening is not an egoic journey. It is not a personal mission that ends within the individual. It is not a solitary ascent to a summit reserved for the strong or the chosen. True awakening is an activation that, once ignited in you, resonates across thousands more. Every step you take, every shadow you cross, every wound you heal, every pattern you deprogram, every truth you dare to live, sends out a wave of transformation that touches the collective field of humanity. What appears personal is actually collective. What you heal in yourself, you are also healing in your lineage, your ancestors, those yet to come, and even those who don't yet know they are asleep. That's why your transformation is your service. You don't need to wait to be fully wise, fully enlightened, or fully free to serve. You only need to be authentic, present, coherent. You only need to live your process truthfully and offer in service what you've already remembered. Because your energy speaks, even in silence. Your gaze can ignite something in another without a word. Your vibration, held in love, can open paths for people you may never meet. The world needs your light. Not just the light expressed through great deeds, but the one shown in how you walk, how you listen, how you respond, how you hold space, how you look with compassion. Every time you choose peace over judgment, you are serving. Every time you respond with empathy instead of reaction, you are serving. Every time you speak from the soul instead of fear, you are serving. Your conscious presence is medicine. And in a world dominated by noise, speed, unhealed trauma, and confusion, you can be the lighthouse. Not from perfection, but from authenticity. Not from the role of master, but from the humanity that has already lit its inner fire. I am Saint Germain, and I offer you this final key with the strength of cosmic love. Your awakening is not only for you. It is a seed activated in you that is destined to bloom in many. Don't hide. Don't diminish yourself. Don't postpone your service, waiting to feel fully ready. You are already guiding, simply by living in truth. You are already reflecting, simply by walking in awareness. You are already helping, just by keeping your light on when others only see darkness. Remember this always. You are not here only to ascend. You are here to elevate. You are not here only to heal. You are here to inspire healing. You are not here only to remember. You are here to activate memory in others. You are a point of light in a living web of planetary transformation. And your individual transformation is part of the collective awakening of humanity. Live, heal, expand, share, serve, and be the lighthouse in the midst of chaos. The world needs you, and you are ready. Your life begins today as a master in activation. You have walked a path that is not linear, but sacred. You have not reached an end. You have arrived at your highest beginning. You've moved through words that do more than inform. They awaken. You felt, deep within, that this was not just spiritual content, but a living transmission, a vibrational activation, a channeled revelation that came to meet you exactly where you are, because your soul called for it, because you were ready. because you were born into this life not as just another being, but as a divine spark in the process of self-realization. These 16 keys are not meant to be stored in a notebook. They are codes. They are geometries of ascension. They are vibrational essences that, if you hold them in your awareness and practice them with an open heart, can reshape the entire architecture of your life. You are not here by accident. You did not read this by coincidence. This wasn't fleeting inspiration. It was a sacred appointment between your soul and its true identity. Today, a flame has been ignited that can no longer be extinguished. A flame that whispers from within. I am ready to stop pretending I am small. I am ready to embody who I truly am. Today, with every word received, you have awakened dormant memories. You have remembered that you are not what the world told you. You have felt that your limits were only illusions held by forgetfulness. You have recognized that divinity is not outside. It is beating in the center of your chest. From this moment forward, you no longer walk as one who is searching, but as one who remembers. You no longer relate to life as a victim of time, the past, or circumstances, but as a conscious creator, an energetic transmuter, an open channel of higher light. You have been called to embody your mastery, not an academic mastery, not an external or institutional one, not some unattainable perfection, but the mastery of one who has chosen to live from awakened consciousness, from unconditional love, from the frequency of the soul. Do not stop. Do not look back. Nothing in the past holds power over you anymore, except what you choose to give it. You are no longer the wounded character performing to be accepted. You are no longer the inner child seeking validation. You are no longer the sleeping soul repeating inherited patterns. You are the awakened consciousness that has taken the helm of its own existence. You are Saint Germain in action. You are the violet flame that transmutes all shadow. You are the solar spark choosing once again to shine. You are the flame in expansion. You are the embodied change. You are the conscious manifestation of the I Am in this dimension. And from that certainty, from that center, declare with the vibration of one who has stepped into their place in the divine plan. I am the resurrection and the life of my new destiny. I am light in motion. I transmute, release, and manifest the glory of my being. I am the living activation of my embodied mastery. Feel these words not as external affirmations, but as echoes of your soul resonating with your higher identity. Repeat them with awareness. Write them in your mind. Vibrate them in your daily life, because each time you pronounce them, you are reprogramming your field. You are reorganizing your reality. You are declaring to the universe that your time has come. And the universe, which responds not to your desires, but to your vibration, begins to move in harmony with your new frequency. Doors begin to open. Synchronicities accelerate. Resistance dissolves. The past loses its grip. The soul takes command. I am Saint Germain, and I tell you, from the heart of transmutation's sacred fire, the Master is not the one who knows everything. It is the one who chooses to live from their light. You have chosen. You have remembered. And now your true life begins. The life of a master in activation. Walk, speak, vibrate, serve, love, expand, and let your life be the living proof that heaven has descended to earth, through you. And so it is. And so it shall be. You are ready.